I just got my hands on my new Analogue Pocket and I wanted to unbox it and show how to set it up. So this is a box as it arrived. I'm opening it from the underside, of course, is not to show my address. Okay, so getting the packaging material out of the box, you can see that there's several little boxes in here because I got a few accessories for my unit. So let's take this all out and go through what's in each one of these boxes one at a time. The first box I'm going to open is the unit itself. I do like to keep the plastic covering at least some of the boxes, so that's why I'm cutting it the way that I am. But here's the unit itself. So that's the green one. These came in several colors. I can pull out of the box by pulling on this plastic tab. There's still plastic on the front and a few spaces on the back. There's a black envelope. We'll take a look at what's in there in a second. I'm not sure what it has in it. And it comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable, so I could use this for charging. Now, as far as what's in the envelope, so there's a couple of stickers in there. Let's see, and then there's this card, and that's everything that's inside the envelope. So the back side of the card has a link and QR code to where you can get the support information on the device. The front is like a mini manual where it tells you what each one of the buttons does. The stickers that were in there were just for the company logo, and there's another FPGA logo. So this is the unit itself. You can see there's a power and volume button on the side there, so the cartridge goes on the back. The SD card slot goes on the other side. On the bottom, you have the USB-C and the link cable along with the power light. Nothing's really on the top. Okay, so setting this aside and going into the next box. Inside of this box, I have the clear plastic hard case for it. This is a bit of, I think what some would call a display case. Okay, here it is. You might be able to make out 4 protrusions in the back. Those end up going into the screw holes on the analog unit itself, and that prevents it from moving around within the case. But you set the unit in there, it is pretty much locked in place, and then put the plastic on the front. And that's it, it's in its protective case. Now the protective case has plastic on it too. It's going to be a while before I remove that. Another box I have, this has the Game Gear adapter within it. So using the Analogue Pocket can play Game Gear games. I think it can play TurboGrafx 16 games too. You just have to have the right adapter so that you can put the games themselves within it. And I'll show you how this goes in. This just goes right into the Game Boy slot. Get it lined up, press it in, and once it's there, all you need to do is put a Game Gear game in the adapter. And the last box that I have, this is just a cable box. We can see there's another one of those black envelopes within it. But inside of this, I have a MIDI adapter for it. And I just got that for playing with the built-in music application that this device has. You turn the unit on by holding down the power button for a couple of seconds. Now this is my first time turning it on. I'll go ahead and go through the tutorial since I don't know what to expect from this. So see, it tells me the continue button. This looks like it's a repeat of some of the same information that was on that card that I put out of the envelope earlier. So I'm adjusting the lighting just so you can see the screen a little better. Okay, yeah, I know about the volume. Okay, so you can change the brightness by holding down the analog button and using the volume buttons. And you can change display modes. And that explains the power button. And then you have this long end user's license agreement. I'll agree to it. And it tells me I should update my operating system. Updating the operating system is just a simple matter of going to the Analogue website and they will have the operating systems there. I'm just downloading the file. And you copy this to the root of an SD card and then put that SD card within the device. So after it's downloaded, here I am copying it to my SD card, which has nothing on it at the moment. Now when I put it in the device and turn it back on, you almost immediately will start to see it counting as it starts to apply that firmware image. Now once you get through this, you can start playing games by putting cartridges in and just turning it on. But what if you wanted to run ROMs from the micro SD card slot? It doesn't do that out of the box, but it can do that. If you go to these two URLs, there's a set of files there that you just need to download and copy to the SD card. At one of those URLs, you'll find these two zip files. At the other URL, you'll find this zip file. Just download all of them, unzip them to the same folder, and then copy that to the root of the SD card. In addition to those files, you also need ROM images for the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and regular Game Boy. Now, I can't tell you where to get these from, but those are the names of the files that you need to look for, along with their hash codes, if you want to make sure you have the right version. After copying those in place, here you can see I have a cartridge in the back of the unit. I just want to see, could I both play a game from the cartridge and switch over into playing in a ROM without removing the cartridge? So turning it on, let's go down to the FPGA menu, handheld, and there I can see there's the 3 units that I'm emulating. I select the advanced, I select the game that I copied to the SD card. You can see it's loading there. And that's it. It's behaving exactly like how I would expect a Game Boy Advance to behave. So I'm backing out of that. Let's see if I can go and play a game from the cartridge. And it looks like that works too. So yes, after copying a bit of files, I can run games from the ROM. Now I still need to play with this some more. I might do a follow-up video on if I find anything else significant, but this was just a nice nostalgic little item to have. Analogue sells them here and there. They don't keep them in stock all the time. So if you want to get one, you might have to keep an eye out on their website in order to be able to grab one.